You feel a little better and the blues just fly away. Ah, you feel a little better and the blues just fly away. Try it, feels good. You feel a little better and the blues just fly away. Ah, you feel a little better and the blues just fly away. You guys got it. Once again, loosely based on true events. I went out carousing all night long. So she threw everything I ever owned out on the lawn. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. When you're singing a goodbye song, you feel a little better and the blues just fly away. Give it a shot. You feel a little better and the blues just fly away. That's pretty good. I'm sure I've told the car story every time I came here. Have you guys heard the car story before?
No.
The Studebaker story?
No.
Just, I will. Merl from the Northern Pikes, my buddy Merl. He won a 1950 Studebaker in a raffle in Humboldt, Saskatchewan, which is his hometown. And he won this thing and he sold it right away to somebody in Montreal. And he said, but before I send it on the train, I'm going to bring it by the house and you can take it for a drive. And I thought, well, that'll be cool. I've never driven an old car like that. And I had a picture of a 1950 Studebaker as a sleek sports car, maybe like a Corvette or a Ferrari. Or a 1950 Studebaker is about as long as this entire room. It was bright red. And before I got in the car, and I was shocked at how big this thing was. And I said, wow, okay. He says, well, you got to be aware of a few things. It doesn't have power steering. So it's very heavy, so it's a lot of work to kind of turn the wheel. I kind of go, okay. And then he said also, it doesn't have power brakes either. So you really have to hit those brakes hard. You got to use a lot of muscle to stop the car, so okay. So then I'm kind of paranoid. I get in the car, and we go around the block. And I had my son with me, and Merl. My son was 7 at the time. He's 27 now. So this was quite a while ago. Anyway, we get in the car, start zooming along, and we're on kind of a crescent. We come to the first curve, and you can go kind of, and you're still going straight. You're not moving. And I'm like, holy sh! So and then I hit the brakes. And I know this really makes me sound ancient, and it's kind of old news, but if you can recall the the late night commercials of Suzanne Summers with ThighMaster. You're working that thigh, man. You got to so pumping on the brakes and turning this thing and using all my power to get this around the corner. And I get around the next corner and I do the same thing and I get back and I just pull back in front of the house. And I was so relieved to get out of that car. I was just, because I thought I was going to smash up his car, that he just sold to somebody. But anyway, survived the Studebaker experience. Doesn't have all that much to do with this next verse, except it is the vehicle verse. I used to love my 65 Fairlane until that semi sideswiped me. I was not to blame. Doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. When you're singing a goodbye song, you feel a little better and the blues just fly away. Ah, you feel a little better and the blues just fly away. Well, you can sing a ballad about heartache and regret. Sometimes that sad melody will help you heal the way you feel when you're singing and you'll forget. About heartache and regret. Sometimes that sad melody will help you heal the way you feel when you're singing, you'll forget. Okay, I gotta say this is my favorite part of the song. When I stopped the other night on my way here, I stopped in Neepawa, Manitoba, and I have not been in a place that quiet in a long time. And I stopped at this motel, and I was going to keep going, and it was really late, and I was really burnt. I thought, you've got to stop somewhere and sleep. So it was open, got into the motel, and as I'm walking to the motel, I'm listening, and I heard so many coyotes howling in the background. And it was great. It was a symphony. And if I wasn't so tired, I would have thought to try and record it somehow, because I'm sure I could use it for something at some point here. And there's no copyright on it, so no trademark happening there. But anyway, so there's far too many movies about vampires and not nearly enough about werewolves, in my opinion. And the sound werewolves make. And I guarantee, tonight, I can 100% guarantee this. The last thing you think of before you fall asleep tonight, you're going to go, I'm really glad that guy asked me to do that tonight, because I feel better for this. Kind of like primal scream therapy. It's returning to our prehistoric roots. Just do this sound with me. You're going to feel good, I'm guaranteed. Oh, that sounds so good. It's semi-orgasmic. You guys I'm bringing you on the road. Sometimes I used to argue with my dog. One day he just had enough and ran off in the fog. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. When you're singing a goodbye song, you feel a little better and the blues just fly away. You feel a little better and the blues just fly away. It's a fake ending. It's not the real ending. Because first of all, we have to do the Roy Orbison part. If you can imagine in your head timpanis and a symphony orchestra and Roy's silky voice. It's the mystery of music in your soul. Just sing along, and when the song is over, almost as good as Roy Orbison. You feel a little better and the blues just fly away. You feel a little